friends, welcome back to Homeschool-ology. If you're here watching this video, you probably like watching YouTubers. And so I thought I would share 10 of my top YouTubers to watch, 10 of the ones that I watch pretty religiously with you guys to see if maybe we have some in common or maybe you have some for me that I need to start following. So let's dive into that. So if you are new here, my name is Nikki. I'm a homeschooling mom of 4. I currently have a 9th grader, 5th grader, 1st grader, and kindergartner. On this channel, I share mostly secular homeschooling with you, but I also like to share our lives in general. We like to travel, so we share some of our travel things, getting out in the world, motherhood, all the things. So it's a little bit of everything here, but mostly I focus on secular homeschooling. But there are YouTubers that I watch that range from secular homeschoolers to religious homeschoolers to not homeschool related at all, or I think almost everybody that I do watch homeschools to some aspect, except for one that's going to be on this list today, but I don't necessarily watch them for homeschooling. So let's dive into this list. These again are in no particular order and by no means a complete list of the YouTubers that I enjoy watching. I am actually, the reason I started this channel was because I couldn't find homeschoolers like me. I was entering into that middle school, high school realm. Not that I don't have them in my personal community, I do, but I kind of wanted to see what else was out there. I was looking for resources, and so that's kind of why I came to YouTube in the first place. I had a friend who was like, hey, check out our YouTube channel. Maybe that would be helpful, and it really was. And so I started looking for that. And while I did find a few middle school, high school people, you know, YouTubers who have those aged groups, I really don't remember finding more than maybe 1 or 2 that were secular. And I was just kind of having a hard time finding the information that I needed, that I was looking for. And I thought, if I'm having a hard time, other people might be having a hard time. And so I am going to document my journey to finding these things and our homeschool journey, because if it, you know, it might help somebody else who is in the same situation that I am. Now, none of the YouTubers that I'm sharing today actually fit that bill. I'm pretty sure everyone has younger kids than I do, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I'll get to that at some point. But I'm going to share that in a separate video, because while those might not be the moms that I watch the most, they are the most helpful in that area, and I think that just kind of needs to be its own dedicated video. So I'm sticking to kind of the top of my my subscribed list, you know, the top ones that are in that list that you go to frequently. That's kind of what I'm sticking to today. So I will dive in with number 1. Again, no particular order. This is just the first person that I really started watching kind of religiously, kind of connected with, somebody that I waited for her videos to come out to watch the new ones, and that is Shanna at Making Everyday Magic. And she was kind of the first person on YouTube that I just connected with. She wasn't what I was necessarily looking for because her children are younger than mine. She was not entering that middle school era, high school era like I was needing, but she just was fun to watch, and I related to her, and I felt like we kind of had similar approaches to things, and so she gave me ideas to, you know, expand on what I was already doing. And so she was kind of my first, you know, like wetting my feet, so to say. And then through hers, I found many others when she did collabs, many other secular homeschool moms. And so some of these ones have become some of the ones that I watch most regularly. And that is Cassie at Regular Secular Mama. And she is another YouTuber that kind of had, her daughter I think is only like just a little bit behind my daughter, like maybe 1 year behind my daughter. So she kind of like, I related to her a lot because we had similar age. And I felt like we kind of had the same approach to schooling, and I was super impressed by her planning. Like, she's an amazing, she does all the Trellos and all the fancy ones, and so I was just amazed by those. So I watched a lot of those. She's taken a little bit of a break, but she's coming back in hot, guys. She's joining us again on some of our collabs and things. So make sure you go check out her channel, because she's really fun to watch, and like she's really easy to listen to, so I really enjoy watching her. And then another secular homeschool mama that I enjoy watching is Kaela at Ode to Abode, and she just, I think, you know, she's unique because she was a homeschooler herself, and then she's now homeschooling her kiddos, and I think there's more and more of those people coming to the YouTube world actually, but she was kind of the first one that I heard from with that, and I just really like her style too. I feel like it's just very she's one of those ones that's like everything's really pretty. So I really like watching her things, and I found some really good things from her that I enjoy using. So she's another one that I watch pretty regularly. Again, she's had 2 babies kind of back to back, so she's not posting as regularly as she used to, but she's still posting, she's still in there, so go support her channel as well. But she's someone else that I really enjoy and pretty much watch on a regular basis. The next 2 mamas I'm gonna share about, they are actually not necessarily under the secular umbrella. They're not super religious as far as like they don't use a ton of religious curriculum and stuff, but they are both religious homeschoolers, so they don't fall technically under the secular umbrella, and they do use religious curriculum, but I just enjoy watching them. So I do watch them quite a bit just because I like hearing about them. I actually talked to both of these mamas outside of the YouTube world too, and they're great. And so yeah, the first one is Ashley at Gathered and Grounded. That's her homeschool channel, and I have been watching her. We kind of started kind of about at the same time, so she started just before me, and her channel just before mine, and so I've kind of been watching her along the way. We were kind of, you know, so she's really fun for me to watch. I just really like, again, she's another one that I feel like I'm just chatting with a friend, even though I'm not talking. She's only talking to me, but so I watch hers regularly. And then Nicki at Blessed Homeschool Mess. So she's a fellow Nicki. Her name is spelled differently than mine. I really enjoy watching her too. She's a unique perspective because she only has 1 kiddo that she's homeschooling. And so I think that's kind of interesting, and both of them work and homeschool. So Ashley works from home every day of the week, and Nicki works outside of the home part-time. So they're both working and homeschooling mamas, which I think is, you know, really great to see. Again, I do work. I'm not as structured as they are. I teach 1 or 2 baking classes a month, and then I run this channel. But they, you know, they are like real actual jobs where they work for someone else. So I think that's really a unique perspective, and I really like watching them. They actually have a podcast as well, called 2 Homeschool Moms, and I was a guest star on 1 episode, so I'll link that episode down below, as well as share their podcast. It's on YouTube, so you can watch it just like a YouTube video, but I really enjoy watching that too, because it's just 2 moms, 2 really good friends chatting about homeschool things and other things, and so I really enjoy watching those. Okay, one last one here. I'm gonna say she actually has 3 channels that I watch, and one of them is a homeschool channel, and so that is Angela Branoff, and her homeschool channel is Homeschool Made Simple. And so I really just like her approach. She has 8 kiddos. Some of them are adopted, some of them have special needs, and I feel like she just has this like breadth of knowledge because she works with so many different, you know, abilities and so many different kids and so many different, she has some same ages, she has big gaps. She is one of the ones that has kids that are older than my kids, and so and they have a farm, and she does 3 channels, and so I'm just like amazed, and she's always doing home renovations on her other channels, and I'm just amazed at all the things she can do. Okay, and so I just really like watching her for inspiration, as to, like, you know, how you can get it all done, because I feel like she has a good hold on that. So her Homeschool Made Simple. Now I'm gonna say that I don't necessarily watch that channel as much, because we don't necessarily have similar homeschool styles, so it doesn't always necessarily relate to me. But a lot of times I will watch her things that are like just talking motivation, because she's a really great at giving motivation, and sometimes I need that to be, you know, as a homeschool mom, I need some of that motivation to be a good homeschool mom, or work harder, not harder, but just like more productively, And so I do like watching her channel for that. So let's segue into the non-homeschool related channels that I watch. And I'm going to talk about Angela Branoff's other two channels. So the first one is This Gathered Nest. And like early on, that was started as they were going through a lot of their adoption processes and stuff. I haven't watched a lot of those videos. I've watched a few of them and they are fascinating. I think, you know, I've always had this kind of like tug on my heart to adopt. That wasn't in the cards for us so far. I don't think it will be, but it's always been really fascinating to me. And so I did watch a few of those, but that's not really why I watch her channel. Now she's they have like a, I don't know if you would call it like a hobby farm or a homestead farm, but they have some animals and they have like a larger piece of land, and she does a garden. And so while I think that lifestyle is really great, I really like watching other people do it. I don't know that it's made for me. I don't know that that's something that I would be good at, but I really enjoy watching her do it. And so I watch a lot of those, and that's where she, you know, her husband's on that a lot. They do a lot of home renovations on that. I am interested in that. So her channel is just kind of like one that I like to put on in the background, like while I'm either baking or doing something like that, and just kind of watch her kind of be a rock star mom. And then her other channel is her name, Angela Branoff. She shares a lot of like you know, Amazon hauls and beauty products and clothes, and I don't know if y'all know or have noticed that that's not really like, I mean, I like that, but also like it's not really who I am. I'm a kind of a t-shirts and jeans kind of girl. Actually, I don't even wear jeans anymore. I'm a t-shirts and leggings kind of girl, or a dress with bike shorts underneath. Okay, so I'm just not super fancy and not into all of that. But I do still like watching her channel because she's the same age as me, and so I, you know, it's helpful. Her skin is beautiful, so I take into account some of those things. So I do enjoy watching her channel. And then another one along that same line is Natalie Bennett. Channel is her name. She is a minimalist, and she's not like a super dramatic minimalist though. She's just kind of like an achievable minimalist, if is the best way I can maybe describe it. You know, like they just don't have a ton of things. They try to keep their things, you know, slim down, what fits into their home comfortably without a lot of clutter. And I'm not that person. You've probably seen my house in some videos where, you know, I try to be that person. I'm trying to be that person, but I'm not there yet. But so she's great motivation to help me get there. She does homeschool her kids. It does come up on the channel a little bit, but she doesn't necessarily talk about that a ton. And we don't necessarily homeschool the same way, but it is nice to kind of see somebody who's, I believe she's younger than me, but she's around my same age and she's doing kind of the same life that I'm doing. But they again have land and a garden, and they just got chickens a little while ago, and so it's nice to watch that. I think that's great and would be wonderful. I just don't know that I could do it, but I enjoy watching it. So that's another channel that I enjoy watching. That's a mom that's similar to me, but also does some really cool things that I don't do. Another one that I like to watch is Elyse Myers. I started watching her on Instagram because I'm not cool enough for TikTok. But I just thought her little stories were so hilarious and so funny. So I subscribed to her channel. They come up a lot in my, you know, For You section. And so I tend to always click on them and watch them because I think she's just hilarious. So that's kind of another one that I just play in the background, but I do enjoy watching her and listening to her. I think I just think she's super funny and super talented. The girl's voice is amazing. So she's another one that is on my list, you know, my top list. And then we're going to bring it full circle here, and we started with Ashley at Gathered and Grounded. She has started a new channel that is just kind of about her life in general. They're about to do a really big move, so she's going to be sharing about that, and just she does meal prepping and days and lives and all that kind of stuff. She's split that off of her homeschool channel, and it's now her channel called Ashley Renee. So I watch that pretty religiously because, you know, like I said, she's like watching a friend. So those are the 10. And actually, I think there were 12 because I threw in the two homeschool moms, and Angela Branoff has 3 channels. But 10 sounds better than 12. So, so there you go. 10 plus maybe a few extra channels that I really enjoy watching, and is on, you know, the top of my subscription list that I watch pretty regularly. Again, by no means is this all the channels I watch, because I absolutely watch way more than this. There are tons of moms that I have learned tons from, enjoy watching, all of those things. But this was my top of my list. And yeah, that is it. Like I said, I'm going to be doing one for the high school and middle school moms who have helped me a lot, as far as like learning about resources for that and how to do things and all that good stuff. That one's going to be coming out. And then of course I have tons of other videos on my channel, so scroll on down, check out the links below to everybody else's channel, drop on by and say hello from me. And while you're down there, I hope you would hit subscribe to this channel, ring that notification bell, and give this video a thumbs up. YouTube really likes it when you do that, and it helps us a ton, and it's completely free for you. And let's see, don't forget you can always check us out over on Instagram at Homeschool-ology. I share as much as I can over there. I'm not super great at it, but I share over there quite a bit. And let's see, I think that's it. So tell me your favorite channels that I should check out if I haven't mentioned them here. Again, I might watch them, but I just didn't have, you know, this video is already rather long. So, but share them because I want to check them out if I haven't checked them out before. And I think that's going to be it. So I hope you will come back and chat with me again real soon, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.